Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the FeiyuTech G6 Max gimbal. Now at roughly $230 US, this is an affordable gimbal, lightweight, and supports essentially what you see right here on the front of the box: pocket cameras, action cameras, and smartphones. In full disclosure, as always, this was sent over by FeiyuTech for review purposes, and I'm excited to share it with all of you because even though it's been on the market for a while, I think it's still an incredibly relevant product, because while I do have many much more powerful gimbals that are also much more expensive, I think this is ideal for the majority of users that have mirrorless APS-C cameras, or things like the Sony RX100 line, or of course GoPros, other action cameras like Insta360, or even smartphones, but want something that can do it all. Because of course, while you can get a gimbal that just supports specifically one of these, it's nice to have one that can, again, do it all. And at $230, it's affordable. Of course, Feiyu, I feel like now, is fairly well known in the business. I have good experiences with a wide variety of their products, have reviewed many of their products, and this, I'm hoping, will not be an exception, because I have been looking for a good gimbal for things like the RX100 line or my ZV-1, and those are, of course, both Sony cameras, and this looks like it's going to be the gimbal of choice because it's lightweight, again, versatile. I think they rated it 9 hours of battery life, which, if that's legit, will be fantastic. A roughly a little over 2.5 pound payload capacity, so it's really just a matter of what you want to do with it. And it comes already with this nice little travel case like that. What's not to like? A little bit of paperwork out of the box. And let's take a look at this because I think, again, this is kind of like the gimbal for everyone. Now, are there other gimbals similar price point? Yes. But are they larger and heavier? Yeah. And if you don't need something that goes beyond a 2.5 pound payload, why jump up into that class? I just don't see the reason. So the first thing you'll notice is the gimbal itself right here out of the box. And I'm really curious to see what performance is like. They do include a cable, which we'll get to in a moment as I go through the balance of the contents, that can control both Sony and Panasonic shutter release. So that's a nice touch. We have a small little OLED display right here, as well as, of course, control for the gimbal here, a jog dial on the left side, I believe that's the shutter button right there, but I'm going to have to use it. We've got a trigger on the front, which of course is going to control locking the gimbal in position, as well as, have some things like double tap, bringing it, recentering it, triple tap, bringing it 180 degrees for selfie mode. USB Type-C port right here for charging, power button, and then a button to switch between still and video mode. So again, a really dynamic, tiny little gimbal. Again, this may become a new little travel partner of mine when the pandemic is over and it's safe to get back to traveling, hopefully sooner rather than later. And then what I really like that Feiyu has implemented here, which they were the first to do and they don't get proper credit, is putting locks on the gimbal axes. So that makes balancing and just using gimbals in general a lot cleaner and less of a headache out of the box. So you can see right there, there's a lock for this, there's a lock for this. These are things that for several years, Feiyu included, no one was doing. So excited to get this going. I'm going to just see if we can power it on. See if there is. Yep. So we do have power out of the box, and it's already trying to, I'm going to power it down because it is trying to compensate, and meanwhile it's all locked up. So save that for another video. It also comes with a little mini tripod, so that's nice. Not something new from Feiyu, but you can easily, of course, just thread this at the bottom of the handle. So good for being able to just put this down wherever you want, and you can do things like time lapse, things of that nature. So definitely appreciate that being included. It is feels like it's plastic. Pretty much all metal construction though on the gimbal itself. Feels well made. Here's our quick release plate for your, again, camera of choice. And it's good that they do support GoPro out of the box, because I think this is going to be, or already is, incredibly popular, specifically for action cameras. Type-C to Type-A cable right here for charging, presumably. And then last but certainly not least, the balance of the included hardware, which I'm anticipating, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be stuff like the connection cable for Sony and Panasonic cameras. See if I can make this all just drop out. But should be also the smartphone adapter. What else? And that's pretty much it. So let's see. The cables, as I stated, so we've got, they're clearly labeled right here that this is Type-C to multi, so this is your Sony. So again, something that's ideal to put on this will be my ZV-1 or an RX100, really up to you. The Insta360 is my action camera of choice, and of course the GoPro head that they give you right here, a mounting piece, will work with Insta360 as well. What GoPro created has become standard for everybody. Then we've got, I believe this is the cable for Pani, but I'm not positive. It just says DC 2.5 mil. They give you quite a few. They're really trying to cover all the bases so that whatever device you have, meaning camera, you're good to go. This is Type-C to TRS. So, you know, you basically have a cable for everything. These got a little bit wrapped up in each other. But, you know, it's just a matter of, again, Feiyu making sure that they're going to support basically every camera under the sun. And I like that they do that. This is another micro. So ultimately, again, all I saw listed was Panasonic as well as Sony, but I imagine there's broader support. And then some of these are obviously going to be for smartphones as well. And then this is just the mounting screw for the GoPro attachment. And then last but not least is the cell phone adapter so that you can mount a cell phone on this. So if all you use is a smartphone, and God knows these days there are plenty of smartphones out there with fantastic quality. In fact, 8K video recording, not that I recommend that, since the majority of humans do not have it, and I'm all for future-proofing, but you have this as well. So I think that, again, from a lightweight standpoint, you know, something that isn't going to break the bank or your back is what I was trying to get at, and I just fused it. Look at me. Let's go ahead and try unlocking these guys and seeing what happens. So to unlock is up, and then to unlock is up. Or is it already unlocked? No, this is already, oh no, unlock is down here. And then are there any more positions to unlock? It does not appear so. And you know, you do have to go through balancing. I'm going to tell you right now, if you thought that you wouldn't have to balance this, we're still not at that point with the tech, but hopefully one day we will be. Now everything is unlocked. So when I power this back on now, we should see it was powering on. Okay, it's still struggling. I don't know if I have a point still locked. The motors are buffing out a little bit here. Yeah, it looks like I do still have 1 point locked, so let's go ahead and fix that. Unless that's just the actual mounting point itself. I thought everything was unlocked. It looks like everything is unlocked. Further research is required because this is just the locking for the quick release plate. So I'll play with it a little bit more. Of course, I will get back. You also have a mounting screw right here on both sides, it appears. So I'm going to see how this works out. But I anticipate good things out of this little gimbal. And again, affordability is definitely one of those things that if that's what you're after, Feiyu's got you covered. Battery's very low on this, which I do not think is making matters any better. So I'll get back to you, of course, with a full review as well as my experience using it with my devices of choice, desired specifically, again, the ZV-1, RX100, and Insta360, because I have long been looking for a reliable, high-quality, very portable gimbal, and this could very well be the one. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.